If you're shopping for a Pokemon Go fan, this is the ultimate guide on the top gifts that we would recommend for anyone playing the game or for someone who wants to get into creating or streaming the game. The most important item that we highly recommend everyone has is a solid power bank. We personally use the brand called Anker. We have tested out a ton of their battery packs and they last the longest, charge the fastest, and just overall are made of really good quality. So we use this really large power bank. It's huge. They have a new updated version called the Anker Prime. Now we don't have the upgraded version, but this is very similar to the one that we do have. So I put this on the list just because it's on sale. The one we use isn't on sale, so I would probably get this one. And then I put a smaller version as well. So we actually have the large and the small version of the older ones. Depending on who's streaming, the streamer will use the larger one and the non-streamer will use the smaller one. They're both really good. So if you're not planning on streaming, you can get away with the smaller one. Or if you just want a really big battery pack that's gonna last multiple charges, that bigger one will cover all your bases. Now the second, but this also really ties in with one of the most important products to have in Pokemon Go, is a phone cooler. Even with the winter months approaching for many of us, you still might need to use this if you're playing in a car, and especially as soon as it starts heating up just a little bit, your phone will overheat. Pokemon Go is notorious for that, especially whenever we get new updates, so a phone cooler is crucial. We have been using the Black Shark phone cooler for 2 years. Now we've used their 3 and 4 Pro models. They have a Pro Model 5 now, so that's the one that I linked because again, that's on sale. The ones we use are not on sale, but we've used a bunch of theirs and we really, really love it. Now the thing is, it does need external power, so you can use it with this really big battery pack or even a second smaller Anker. That's actually what we do when we stream. We use the larger Anker for our phone and we use the phone cooler with the smaller Anker, and the smaller Anker is also listed in this list as well. Now, it wouldn't be a POGO list without the Go Plus Plus. The only caveat here is that it seems like the Go Plus Plus is discontinued, but there's been no official announcement about this or no official update as like when a new one is coming. So if you are looking for a Go Plus Plus, it is going to be a little bit more expensive. I found one on Amazon for $138. I'm not entirely sure if this is necessary. It is really, really nice to have. It will help you play your game a lot better, but it's been a couple months now since they've been discontinued, or what seems to be discontinued. And we haven't heard any details again. So I really don't know what's going on. So if you want to go Plus Plus, just go ahead and get it now because it still could be months before we get a new updated version. And I mentioned this earlier, but I feel like this deserves its own section, is the smaller Anker battery pack. Now this was the initial battery pack that we would use when we would play the game. We've never used this just for streaming, but if we're just going out and about for a casual session, it's really small. It fits a little bit more in like a pocket, so you don't need a huge bag. So the smaller Anker is really great for someone who might just be wanting to see how much they want to play Pokemon Go. They might not want to invest in like a huge battery pack, so the smaller one is good. Or if you do get that phone cooler, this one will work with that phone cooler, and it's nice to have like a dedicated battery for that. Now, if you are getting a phone cooler, one thing I highly recommend is the Rhino Shield. It is a bumper on your phone. This is what we have on our phone. This way we can put the phone cooler directly on our phone to cool it the best. That way we're not having to worry about the back of our phone having any type of like plastic covering it. So it's directly cooling our phones. Because we are streaming this, we really need this cool. I've seen some people use it with a phone case, and a lot of people will just have a naked phone with no type of bumper, and that is extremely stressful. So the bumper still gives you a little bit of protection. You can put like a little wrist strap or like a body wrap strap as well. So a lot of the times when we're playing, we are just like wrist strapped. So if our phone drops, it is also safe that way. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the setup with the phone cooler, the case, and the phone. It literally is MagSafe, so it just snaps on there. And I actually kind of like it because I kind of hold my phone with the phone cooler. It's not like hot or anything, so that's nice. And like I said, if you have the wrist strap, you can drop it and it's not going to go anywhere. Because the phone cooler is MagSafe too, it's not going anywhere. You can hold your phone with it. I wouldn't recommend that, but you can. I can kind of shaking it pretty vigorously, so it's a nice strong connection. Does cool your phone really well, so that's why we like to use the Black Shark. I feel like that works the best. It's lasted a really long time for us, and just this whole setup kind of works. That way it's cooling our phone directly. We still have a little bit of protection with the bumper, but we're getting that cooling that we need. Now with all of this, you also will need a good cord. There's nothing worse than having a bad cord that just doesn't really work with your gear. We just use these Anker cables. They're long enough that they work if we have something in our backpack, but they're also like not too long that we're having like extra cord length or anything like that. They last well. They don't seem to fray or anything like that. Again, we've been using these for about 2 years now, so So we like the Anker ones. That's just what we prefer. Now it is cooling down in a lot of parts of the world. So one thing that we started playing with last year were these hunting gloves. Now we are in Vietnam. We don't really need them right now. It's warm enough for us to play without gloves, but these hunting gloves are phenomenal. The reason why they work really well is that you can cover all of your fingers. They're not fingerless, and depending on how you play, you can just literally uncover one finger or two. So the way I play Pokemon Go is I push with my thumb and I throw with my middle finger. So when I would be wearing these gloves, I would have my thumb empty, and then I have my middle finger empty. So the rest of my hands are completely covered. And then if it did get too cold, I could cover them back up in between going to a raid, in between catching, something like that. And as soon as I needed to catch, I could just put them back. They're magnetic, so they are not like flopping around like the little tips that cover your fingers. So you can have it exactly customized to you, because it does on both hands. It's these 3 fingers. So depending on if you're left-handed, right-handed, if you throw with your pointer finger, your thumb, like it's really up to you. If you want to throw one-handed, you can even just like have your thumb free. So the gloves are really good. The sizing is a little bit funny. I think we both got mediums, and I think they were a little bit too big for my hands, so I might get small next time, but also the medium wasn't the biggest deal either. So maybe play around with sizing and like look at that before you buy these. And I did put 2 of these on our list because there's the one that we use is like the fleece, but then they made this more flexible version. This looks kind of a little bit more like an upgraded. Now I don't know how warm these are. They look pretty good, but the fleece ones were really warm for us. The reason why we don't have any like touchscreen gloves is that we found it didn't really work for Pokemon Go. The type of like touching that you need on your phone just isn't really what those like gloves really can provide. Now they're great for like texting something really quick if you need to like tap on your screen, but if you're doing any type of like quick catching, anything that's a little bit more advanced than just like tapping on your screen once, they're not going to work. So that's why having like your fingers out and being able to use them is really important. Now, since POGO is played all year round, we also put these little phone umbrellas on this list because you might need them in the rain or in the summer. Maybe you want to pair it with your phone cooler. We see a lot of people do that phone cooler and like the little umbrella. So it's up to you. Some people just have the umbrella. I find the umbrella on its own isn't the best. Now it's good if you're just like out and about a little bit, but since we're out sometimes 8 hours a day, it doesn't really provide that cooling that we need for our phone, but it does help with a little bit of that glare, and it can help if there's rain. So that could just be good to have just like in your bag with you. Now with all of this gear, we need to make sure everything's charging really, really fast, especially because we might not have that much time when we're charging. We have to go back out again. So our phones need to charge fast, our Go Plus Plus, our battery pack. So we use this like Anker charging station. It charges our phone so quickly and the battery pack so quickly. I feel like within an hour or not even 2, that big battery pack is fully charged. So if you just need to quickly give it a charge, try to even get like 0.5% if you need to or something like that, you can get that charge enough to then go back out and keep playing. And now for all of the gear, you will need some type of bag. We have played around with a lot of different bags. So our first bag was this nomadic sling. So it's like a fanny pack type of sling. What we really like about the bags that we're recommending is they have some type of pass-through cord, because I don't want to have like one of my zippers open with the cord coming through. I feel like that's how you could lose something. So having a pass-through cord area is just makes it a little bit more secure. So the nomadic sling does have that type of pass-through, so you can just like kind of have your cord out without unzipping everything. And it's pretty comfortable. It's pretty big. It fits everything that we have. Not much more, but it fits all of our chargers and stuff like that. Then what we upgraded to was this clear, it's a clear Rave backpack actually. So the one on Amazon, it's their smaller version. I think the smaller version is definitely better than the one that we ended up getting. We got like the really big one that does have a compartment for like water. So you could put like a water bladder in there and drink that. And that's great if you're going out all day and want that. But if you just like are having like your chargers and a couple things like that, the clear one that they have on Amazon is really good. Especially if you do go to like events and you want something that might meet the clear bag policy. Like if you're going to the Kalos tour at the Rose Bowl, you'll probably need a clear bag. If you want to use this bag for other reasons other than just Pokemon Go, a clear bag could be a good investment. So those are what we use. Right now, we've switched over to a pack safe bag. That way, because we're traveling, it's a little bit more secure. It's anti-theft, so we'll link that as well. So yeah, we've tried a couple bags. We like all of them. It just depends on like what we're doing, how much we really need for us, but all of these are ones that we like. And now if you aren't planning on making or streaming content, that's kind of the bulk of our gear that we have. It's really not much. Basically, phone cooler, charger, And that's kind of like it. Everything else is like a nice add-on, whether it helps you like keep your hands warm or charge things a little bit faster, or it's a way to cool your phone a little bit faster with the Rhino Shield. But if you are making content, this whole next section is for you, because we have kind of perfected like a minimalist approach to how we stream and create content. So for YouTube, what we use is the DJI Pocket Osmo. It's perfect because it kind of duals as a travel camera as well. That way we can take really good content when we're traveling, but also make videos like this. And we use the DJI Mic Mini. It's really tiny, it's cute, and it only really works with the DJI though. So if you're just making YouTube videos, this is the setup you need. You might need like a tripod, something like that, but it's just the camera, just the mic. That's a good place to start. And if you watch any of our TikTok or short form content, I do film all of that with my phone. So we have like the iPhone 14 or something. I don't know, it's not the most upgraded model, but with that, I do use the Rode wireless mic. So you plug in the receiver and then you hold the other mic, or you can like clip it onto you. I just like holding it for that. They have the Gen 3, which is their newest gen, and I believe that one's on sale. I use the Gen 2. If I was upgrading, obviously I would go for the Gen 3. What I like about the Rode is it literally just plugs in. You don't have to worry about a secondary app, and you just talk into the mic and like that's it. It is perfect. So that's why I like that. It's really easy to use. It sounds really good, and it keeps a battery for a while too. I also included the Rode Wireless Micro. Now, I haven't used these. Now, they are probably similar to the DJI Mini that I'm wearing right now for this camera, so it could be another good option if you wanted more of like a small compact mic as well. And then in terms of streaming, really we use all of this together, right? We use the bag with the battery packs, both of them, the phone cooler, the Rhino Shield, all of this stuff. And then the mic that we use is the Rode Wireless 2. So again, I have the Rode Wireless 3 because it's a more upgraded version. It's the one that's on sale right now. So if you're streaming, all you really need is just a good mic. And really, you don't even need that if you just want to get started. But the thing is with POGO, when you play this out and about, because we do the IRL walking around streams, is that there's a lot of noise and wind, and the mics are really good to make sure that people can hear you really well. So that is the one thing I will say is if you are wanting to stream a little bit more seriously, getting a mic will just increase that quality just a little bit more. There's not really much else you need for streaming. If you're streaming on TikTok, you just use the app. If you're streaming on YouTube or Twitch, there are some other apps that you can use depending on if you have like Android or Apple. So that is totally separate. But just in terms of like gear, again, it's just basically everything put together in a bag with a mic, and then we just go out and stream. But if I had to pick my top 3 products from this, it would obviously be the phone cooler, it would be the big Anker battery pack, and it would be the Rode Wireless. I feel like I use those the most. Now the GO Plus Plus is really, really high up there, but because it's a little questionable if you can even really get it, I'm not putting that on the list because I feel like I only want to put things on the list I could actually buy today. So yeah, those are what I would get of top 3 things. They're just ones that I use the most. I like the quality of them, just everything like that. So those are my picks. And if you're looking for any of these products, we do have an Amazon store. The link is in the description, or you can leave a comment and asking for the link as well, and then I'll provide it there. That way you can find exactly what we're doing. We're linking the exact products in that storefront. So you can also look for the POGO holiday guide in our Burning Cream Go Amazon storefront as well. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you guys use any of these products? Is there a different battery pack you use, a different phone cooler, different streaming gear that you would recommend? Let me know in the comments and let's have a discussion about it. And see you guys in the next video.